Welcome to another edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline. We're at 103 Federal Street, PNC Park, right across Clemente Bridge, right near the Roberto Clemente statue. If you go to see Willie Stargell, you went too far. Thanks for coming out tonight. We've got a bunch of great guests here. A couple guys from wrestling, we're going to talk to them, and a couple others, so we're going to start the show. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine. I got my co-host Smokin' Jim Frazier. Devin Shea's on camera. I want to thank Bethel Park for letting us venture out from BP TV to film this show. This show will be rebroadcast on Comcast 7 only in Bethel Park, and then on Verizon 32 all the way from Nemacolin to Cranberry Wexford starting Wednesday night. It'll be on 5 times on TV. All our shows, over 400 shows, are archived on YouTube, so you can check them out. I have a house mic, and we'll use the mic for the camera. So when you're a guest, you'll sit there, I'll have the mic come over to you, and we'll do some interviews here. Can't wait to do it. I'm excited about the show. Now, we start our show out with What's on Your Mind. We have a sponsor for that segment. It's called Skeet's Service Station. It's right in Finleyville, about 7 miles from my house. Skeet's Lewandowski, the owner, is our sponsor, and he sponsors What's on Your Mind, and we're going to start that right now. Smokin' Jim Frazier, what's on your mind? Double that.
Thanks, Al Levine, the Talking Machine. And if you want the green, you got to see Levine. Want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. If you haven't done so already, do yourself a favor, grab a menu, because the only burger I like better than the Roethlisberger is the Talking Machine Big Mouth Burger. Big hand for Hall of Fame photographer Frank Fabus in the house. Congratulations to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're on a 2-game winning streak. I think they're going to beat the New York Giants on Sunday. Congratulations to Pitt, Penn State, KU, West Virginia, all in the top 25 in the country. You know, there's been a lot of great Italian coaches over the years. Vince Lombardi, Joe Paterno, Jimmy V, Rick Pitino, John Calipari, Yogi Berra. But Pitt's current coach, Pat Narduzzi, did a great job at Cincinnati, did a great job at Michigan State. I think the Pitt Panthers is the most explosive team in the country. They beat the #2 team in the country, Clemson, and scored 43 points. They scored 56 against Duke. And on Saturday, they scored 76 points against Syracuse. This is the most exciting Pitt team since the Italian stallion Dan Marino played quarterback back in the 80s. Pat Narduzzi is the best thing that happened to Pittsburgh since Franco's Italian army. And finally, I think under Narduzzi, Pitt could be it again.
Now, Smokin' Jim, how do you really feel about it? Smokin' Jim's an NFL scout, he's a Steelers scout, and he's an entertainer. I hope he entertained you on that, and he did say some truth to that, so I appreciate it, Smokin' Jim. I just couldn't believe that Pitt game, and they kept scoring points. It was like 56 something, and I'm like, I'm not going to watch anymore. I'll watch Ohio State and Michigan. And I saw a meltdown with Harbaugh, so that was always fun. Saw a few more meltdowns with Harbaugh. And he's one of the biggest whiners and crybabies in sports, yet he's leading young men and telling them to go out there and do this job. And, you know, if you make a mistake, you can whine about it, or you can cry about it. Or there were 3 calls that were terrible. How does he get away with that? It's unbelievable that that's your hero at Michigan there. He does the opposite of what you want to instill in your players. You want them to try hard. You want them to do their best. You don't want them to complain about everything. I think a couple of them were yelling about towels and water bottles were in the wrong place. I mean, it's contagious. It's all over the thing. So I watched it. Now I still don't understand with the playoff system. I thought you had to be a champion to get in. This is beside, I don't even know what to say about that. Now I saw the next level of rules. You may not have to be a champion, you can get in. Penn State or Wisconsin may win this. We are
Penn State
may win this, and they won't get into the playoffs. I got to rest my case, or I'm going to start whining like, what was that guy's name? Harbaugh? One of the Harbaugh boys that cries about everything, throws stuff around. And then, I can't end it without saying this, then he got a 15-yard penalty for throwing all his stuff everywhere. It's like me throwing, I'm not going to throw the binder, but he threw his binder of stuff, and the wind caught it and blew it on the field. He got a 15-yard penalty. Now, you're arguing about plays, and you caused a 15-yard penalty. I rest my case. That's what's on my mind. This next guest was recommended to me by Johnny Mariano, who's one of our biggest fans, who's not a sports guy, and he said, would I like a guy named Fleck on my show? I sent back a message because he's texting me. I said, yes. Send me his number. Within minutes, I had this Fleck guy's number, and we set up being a guest on Pittsburgh Sportsline. So I figured I'd call this Fleck up, and he's going to be up here right now. Come on, Fleck. Since you're a good man on the mic, you can hold the mic. What I'll do is, so they can hear you, I'll just hold it over like this when you can talk.
All right.
Check, check, check.
What?
All right. You'll be good, I could tell. You're a natural on the mic.
What?
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me out. Appreciate it, Jim.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Oh, it's all good.
Right.
Sorry. That burger is good. Nah, it just
You're spitting
dribbled.
jalapenos on me.
Yeah. That's my favorite part of that. Now, Johnny's a mutual friend of ours. He goes to your shows, loves it, says you're a great guy. How long and why did you start wrestling?
Well, I grew up watching wrestling with my dad.
How old is your dad?
My dad's 70.
That's an inside joke there.
Yeah, it definitely is. But no matter what, you know what, I'm not giving my age out, so I won't say how many years are between us. But,
Okay.
I guess probably around, as far as I can remember back, 4, but I think I was watching it younger. But to remember back in my memories, I've been watching since I was 4 years old. And
What a memory.
yeah, and I've always loved it. It's always, no matter what you go through in life, wrestling's it's always on the TV. I wouldn't know as an everyday person just turning on TV and seeing what wrestling is and get an opinion on it. Because it's always been in my life. I don't know how the outside.
It's just been a part that
Yes.
you always had it there.
Yes, exactly. And I decided.
That's great.
I decided in 2009 to start training and pursue a career in professional wrestling. I finished up in 2010 with the Honor City Wrestling Academy, and the rest went from there. And last year, in September of 2015, I started Code Red Wrestling. And
Say that again?
And last year, in 2015, in September, we started up Code Red Wrestling, and we've run shows ever since.
Code Red?
Code Red Wrestling.
How'd you come up with that?
Well, actually,
I'm serious.
true story, me and my buddy about 15 years ago.
Hold that mic up a little too.
Me and my buddy 15 years ago came up with Code Red Wrestling as an internet webpage to discuss wrestling.
Really?
And then I just took the name from there.
I knew there had to be some history there.
Yeah.
I like that, Fleck. Very good. So you've been doing this since 2009 when you went in the academy.
I started training in 2009, so I've been wrestling since 2010, yes.
And what's your record?
I don't keep track.
Wow. Must be nice you don't have to keep track.
I mean, the losses are much higher than the wins, but I mean,
Hold it, do you have fun?
of course, always.
That's what I want to hear.
Even when you lose, you still have fun.
No, that's great. I know other wrestlers. Tom Liturgy's with the KSWA, real good guy. Been on our show many times.
Yes.
I saw him one of his shows. Really great. They do a lot of great work, a lot of great charities,
Yep.
a lot of promotions. When's your next show?
My next show is actually this Saturday, December 3rd.
Does that poster have it on?
Yes, it does.
Hold that poster up. I'll hold it.
There you go. 'Twas the Night of Suplexes.
I'll cover up. They've seen my face before.
Yeah. You know, you can't cover up a pretty face like that. Oh,
You're
can,
right.
We can cover up my.
You're
But
right.
see,
I have to-
my face is still on the poster though, so
That's all right, but it's minuscule.
it's right there.
Thank you.
Well,
for thank you for your compliment.
It's amazing how you can zoom in these days with cameras. So I mean,
We don't do that.
Oh, we could.
I said we don't do that.
I think we need to get more funding so you can.
We will see what happens. I'm glad we had that little moment there. I was trying to put the spotlight on you. It worked out well.
Thank you. Appreciate
Definitely. And how many matches will you have that night?
it.
What are you looking at roughly?
I think I have 8 to 10 matches booked that night.
Sounds like a good card.
Yep.
And where's it at?
Century 3 Mall, 3rd floor. Show starts at 4 o'clock. Doors open at 3:30.
I heard you might know a friend of ours that Smoking Jim and I know.
Who's that?
Lightning Rod Sulka.
Oh, Rod Salka. Yeah, I know Rod Salka. He's a good guy. Very good guy. He's
Yeah,
also in the mall.
Yeah, I heard he has to move or something. Because I think they're doing some stuff with the mall. Well, we're going above our pay
We're
grades
going to
here.
get no comment from Century 3 Mall. As long as it's there, I'm going to be there. I'm not going to go into that conversation.
We'll just pass right over that. That's what we're looking at.
Please do.
I just did. Next subject.
All right, next subject.
All right, we got
What
this.
about that burger? Was that good?
Hold it.
Oh, you got a little bit left. Oh, yeah, it's gone now. How many calories is that burger?
Just in that portion was 960.
960 in that portion. So total, how many calories?
Oh, about 4,000.
So you're gonna hit the treadmill tonight after this, right?
No.
Oh,
I'll just cut the carbs out the next week.
there you go. And then the following week,
Seems to work out that way. Seems to
Yeah.
work out that way.
Christmas is coming up though. You gotta allow for.
I don't do a lot of that junk food.
So maybe next year.
No, I passed that.
Okay.
I just do some extra walking.
Yeah.
Walk down the hill where I live and back.
That's not a steep hill.
It is down from my driveway. Come on, man.
That hill. You were just talking about the driveway, not the actual hill you're on.
No, the hill going down is a
geez.
steep hill. You have to meet me there and walk with me.
Something tells me I'm gonna run into you in the wintertime there. Won't disclose why, but something tells me.
We'll have to see what happens.
Yep.
You
Might have
never
to throw
know.
some snowballs at you.
So how often do you have your events?
Once a month, we have a show at Century 3 Mall. Every month, we collect for a charity.
What's your charity this month?
We're going to continue on with the White Oak Animal Safe Haven. Last month, we did 2 shows to fully support White Oak Animal Safe Haven. The show in December, we'll just have a donation jar, and a portion of the proceeds will go to that. And then also in October, we did a full benefit for St. Jude's, where all the proceeds went to St. Jude's. I partnered up with my buddy Denny Taylor, who does a lot of stuff for St. Jude's. He's a great guy, and
This is good stuff you're doing. How did you get the animal shelter?
We actually started.
What happened?
Last year? We started with the White Oak Animal Safe Haven. They're a no-kill shelter. They're located in White Oak, obviously, hence the name. And every year, this year we did a 2-day event for Paul Slam, so it's the second year we did it, and next year we'll do it again. I love animals.
No, that's great. It's good stuff. I'm an animal lover. I do a lot of charity work too. So
there's, people can help people, but honestly, animals can't really help themselves. So I wanted to. That's why it touches home with me, and I love animals. I even have my dog's paw print is actually tattooed on me.
Let's get a close up of this.
That's how much I love.
Fleck got a tattoo of his dog's paw print.
I thought you didn't have the capability to zoom in on that.
I didn't want to do it on you. We'll do it on.
Oh, the paw print.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now you got it.
Now we got it.
This is a simplistic plan.
Well, I mean, I also have the Code Red tattoo on my shoulder, but we're not going to take clothes off to show that.
No, you're fully dressed. It's like winter-like.
We're gonna stay that way.
You got the hat on with fleck on it, so I mean,
I'd probably get in a pose down with Jim over there. We just don't. I'll lose, so we'll just back up.
He's about 350.
I'll lose that pose down.
Wow, we're not going there. Do you work out at all?
Yes, I do. I have my own weight room at home.
And how many times a week do you use it?
Depends on what I'm doing, my schedule. I like to get in there every day, at least 3 to 5 times a week. And then I train on the weekends at my actual promotion too. I train guys Saturday and Sunday morning, so I have that training as well.
You're a busy man.
Yes.
That's good. And what time's the event start?
The event start at 4, and unless it's a Sunday. Saturday shows start at 4, Sunday shows start at 2.
This is a Saturday?
Yeah, it's usually Saturday. Most of my shows are Saturdays. Occasionally we run a Sunday. Due to the hours of the mall being open, that's why we run earlier shows.
Oh, do you? Okay.
That way we can get the fans out of there before they close.
Out of harm's way.
Yeah. Well, we don't like to put fans in harm's way, but I think if Al wants to come to a show as a fan, we can put him in harm's way.
I take that challenge.
Actually, I think we can have Jim there as well, and we could teach Jim a few moves, and he could put Al in harm's way.
Oh, he's a power lifter. He's over 350 pounds. He's just starting to dig in because he's
What are you saying? I just wrestled Jack Massacre, who's over 300 pounds, and he's 7 feet tall.
Wow. I like your style.
I didn't win, but I wrestled him.
I didn't ask that.
Shout out to my buddy Jack. I'll see you next month again.
There you go. When he watches this video, when it's posted up Wednesday night.
Yes.
He'll know. The invitation has been sent.
Yes, it is.
Do you have a lot of competition here? A lot of guys that...
See, it's not a sensitive subject to talk about. There's a lot of wrestling promotions. There's a lot of good wrestling in Pittsburgh. I don't look at anybody as competition only because I'm in competition with myself. I started the promotion because there were promotions closing, there was promotions canceling shows, and I wanted to prove that you can run and not cancel shows. I wanted somewhere.
You want to be consistent.
Consistent.
Put a product out there.
I've traveled.
Exactly.
I've traveled up and down the East Coast. I know a lot of wrestlers. I wanted to give my guys and ladies that I met a good place to work that won't cancel, and I put my locker room above most because there is no drama whatsoever in my locker room because essentially everyone there is friends with me and we're all friends with each other.
I'm glad we touched on this subject. I like what you're saying.
We all look out for each other, and like it's the business. We're brothers. It truly is a brotherhood. We are a tight, connected family. We look out for each other. We're safe what we do. I mean, we go out there and beat up each other, but as soon as you get back to the curtain, it's a whole different story.
Well, you have a purpose out there. You want to entertain people. You want to have some fun.
Exactly.
And if you can win, you'll take that too.
Obviously, and you can win a title. You take that too.
Now, are there certain belts that you have going on this Saturday night?
I have Nick Mayer, my heavyweight champion. He is going against a guest challenger. We haven't announced that. Dan Sandwich is my high stakes championship. Our champion. The high stakes champion, actually, it's unique. We rolled a dice, 1 through 6. There are 6 possibilities of matches that you can have.
Like the dice.
Yeah, and it's a legit roll. We don't know what what's going to end up. So that's the match he has.
What a great idea.
Yeah, and then we have the tag team titles are on the line, and the next.
Do you have any women there wrestling this one?
No, not this show.
Okay.
I have to get some women again on the shows. I haven't had any recently.
Just thought I'd ask.
Yeah, I haven't had any recently, but I do have connections to women talent, and I'm going to bring some in shortly.
Sounds like a plan.
Always got plans.
Anything else you want to bring out here that we may not have covered, or I may have misdirected people there and, harm's way?
No, not really.
You're good. How do they get a hold of Code Red? Where do they find this at?
You can find information on my Facebook, Phil Fleck, or you can also find it on the Code Red Wrestling Facebook. We also have a Twitter, and we have Instagram as well.
I think we covered it.
Yeah. I think you got another guest that's a good friend of mine coming up next.
Get out. I wasn't sure he was coming up. Introduce him, please.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, not only does he work at my promotion, we are also tag team partners down in West Virginia at Appalachian Wrestling Alliance as the Reproachment. My very good friend, Gino Slice.
What got you into wrestling?
Pretty much the same story as Fleck. You know, I've been watching.
Repeat it.
Pretty much been watching it my whole life, and you know, from day one, you know, it was an episode of SmackDown back in 2001. It was The Rock, Kurt Angle, and Stone Cold in a three-way, and I said, you know what, these guys are awesome. One day I'm gonna do that.
You said that. That's beautiful.
Yeah, and
Now you're doing it.
exactly, living the dream.
That's great. When did you start?
I started about 3 years ago. I trained over at McKeesport, and it took me about a year to train. So, but I've been on.
Where are you
now.
from?
I'm from West Mifflin.
Oh, okay.
Code Red's hometown.
There we go. You got it out there.
Yeah, I've been wrestling about 3 years. I've been to Canada, Delaware, North Carolina, West Virginia, Ohio.
The whole East Coast.
Pretty much.
Well, you're staying busy.
Absolutely.
And are you in these each month?
Absolutely. I think I've only missed about 2 shows since we started last September.
That's a great record. I like it.
Right here.
There he is. Johnny Slice.
Gino Slice.
Gino Slice. I'm sorry.
Got me confused with this guy right here.
Who's that?
My former partner Johnny Switchblade.
All right. Forget about Johnny Switchblade. We got Gino here.
That's right.
Definitely. You look like you're ready for this weekend.
Absolutely. My partner, that man right there, Johnny Switchblade, turned his back on me, and Saturday I'm going to tear him apart.
Nice. That sounds like a good plan. What moves do you got? You got any secret moves
Well, my new
that
finisher.
you can talk about?
New finisher right now. I'm working. I threw it a couple times. It's called the Dream Breaker.
What is it? Show it on Smoking Jim.
All right, here we go. Come on, you ready?
No, we're not going to do that. Just try to show us with your hands.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to mess with him anyways.
Not too many do. He's one of the nicest guys you ever meet, but he was the fastest kid at Gateway. He become a power lifter. What speedster becomes a power lifter? Look at him. And he hasn't stopped eating to keep up that power lifting.
Hey man, the man's got to get his protein.
That's right.
And carbs and everything else that goes with
a little bit of carbs, you know.
it. All right, show me that move. We're getting this on BPTV.
Oh man! Woo! Woo!
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
Man, that was a move. Man.
What's this, a spine buster?
When is this? Okay. Ooh! Ooh! Kids, don't try this at home. They're professionals. Professionals.
They are trained
here.
professionals, local wrestlers.
You want to throw a shot? We'll show you how to throw a shot.
No, I will pass. Get back up here, Gino.
You can throw a shot. You can do it.
I can
That's
do
some
it.
good stuff. Did you get that, Frank?
I'll pass on
man.
that. I appreciate it. You guys performed.
Little white on white crime.
Smoking, Jim. You always got to bring the race card out. I don't know what happened there.
By the way, you see that move live, it's going to look a lot better. My move, it's going to look a lot better.
It was impressive just how it was.
Oh, thank you.
I just wanted to share that with you. That's why I'm stepping away from this. I'll let you guys perform it. You
Yeah.
got some skills and you come up with this one. Fleck took one for the team. I respect that.
That's right. Do not try this at home, kids and adults. Do not try this at home.
Especially adults.
And animals.
It's true, and animals.
Yeah, you want to keep the animals out of this.
That's right.
I mean, you're doing charity for them.
Cars now.
No, that was good. Anything else you want to put out there? I think we topped it with that.
Hit me up on Facebook, Gino Slice. G-I-N-O.
G-I-N-O.
G-I-N-O, SL Ice.
I like it. Gino, pleasure. Thanks for being on the show.
Sure.
Mario's been on our show many times. He's done many things. Big sponsor of our show, was a sponsor of our magazine. Great supporter of Pittsburgh Sportsline. He's got a business now called Fire Fan. They have an app that went live, I think, a couple days ago.
Thanksgiving Day.
I knew it. I saw it.
Thanksgiving
Tell
Day.
us about this. I'll hold this here.
Actually, it went live Thanksgiving Day. There were 1 million worldwide pre-registered Fire Fan players before it went out.
1 million.
1 million.
That's awesome. Good luck.
Yeah.
All right, tell them your code so then they can punch it in and do this. Go ahead.
Firefan.com, Mario Appman, A-P-P-M-A-N, the number 7.
You got to repeat it again because not only am I slow of hearing, but maybe they didn't think you'd say it.
Mario, M-A-R-I-O, A-P-P-M-A-N, the number 7.
And what does this do?
It's an interactive sports app that you can play by yourself, you can play with a group of people in the same room, or you can play with people around the world.
That's amazing. And why are they going to do this?
It's the first ever of its kind. It's interactive. Right now it's the NFL games. Before the game, they'll ask you different prediction questions you think are going to happen, which people mainly do anyhow before they sit down and watch a game.
Right.
You know, let's say, I think someone's going to do this, I think they're going to score 50 points, whatever. I don't think anybody could have predicted the Pitt game, by the way.
76 points.
That's a heck of an over.
I thought it was a video game.
Anyhow, it's the NFL now. The NBA is right around the corner.
Don't they have soccer?
They will have soccer, worldwide soccer. It will be ready in time for March Madness, Major League Baseball, hockey. They're even going to do cricket, which is real close to soccer as being the #1 sport in the entire world.
That's amazing. And how did they put this together? Like they copied or did these apps with Madden, or the people that did Madden? Was that it, or something?
I'm not
else?
sure I could say certain things like that, but it was a name group that had a lot of experience from video games before.
Okay.
This is a sports app. It's a little different. It is not a betting app.
I wanted to get that out of you. Thanks for bringing it up now.
The thing is, like, their goal was to be bigger than Pokemon ever was, and that's a hefty goal. We get
Pokemon down.
we're taking him down. He's on his way.
Give them that app again. Tell them the app.
Firefan.com. Code name Mario, M-A-R-I-O, Appman, A-P-P-M-A-N, and the number 7.
I think we got it out there. What else do you want to talk about?
Actually, something, I cannot mention the names, but there is a lot of sports celebrities, current celebrities, and Hall of Fame past celebrities that play the game.
Really?
You can actually interact with them. You can even trash talk them while the game's going on.
Big stars.
Big stars.
Wow.
Whenever you register, you'll be able to see who the stars are. You can sign up on their teams. You can be involved with every game they're involved with, or just pick one or two. And you don't have to pick your local team only.
Really? What can you do?
For instance, on Sunday coming up, I could pick a game for the 1 o'clock game. I could pick the 4 o'clock game. I could pick the 8:30 game and Monday Night Football.
You're kidding.
Awesome stuff. Actually, the 2 that I played yesterday, I didn't even watch the game. I didn't have
How
time.
does that happen?
It follows the game right along during the game. So as things happen, you get updated just like a regular app does. And you can make predictions as the game goes along too.
Really? Sounds like a lot of cool things. I'm not an app man, but I respect it, and there's a lot of people involved in this. I know at least a half a dozen people like yourself doing this right now, so I had to bring you on since it's live.
Yeah, it's live now, and one of their biggest goals is to bring people together, whether it's families, friends. You can play with your friend around the world. You can play with your friend across the country. I was talking to your son earlier. I'm going to introduce this to the armed forces so that people can be in contact and actually play with their family right along, no matter where they're at in the world.
That's amazing. Wow. Can't wait to see it in action.
It's in action, man. I can't wait. Can't wait for it. This could be viral. You'll be hearing it on TV. You'll be seeing it in newspapers. It'll be everywhere.
No, that's good. I wish you the best of luck with it. Anything else you want to say or mention that app one more time?
I might have to. Firefan.com and code name Mario, M-A-R-I-O, Appman, A-P-P-M-A-N, and the number 7.
Sounds good. Sounds like a winner. Fun.
It's both already.
Wow. That's a good thing. Yeah. Definitely. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much for having me again.
And thanks for being on our show to put this out to the world.
All right. Come on, play it, guys. It's fun.
All right. You got it. Follow Mario Appman 7. All right, this next guest had been on our show when we first started the show, and we lost track of him over the last couple years. So, Mike, will you come back and tell us what you're doing? And we're going to talk some sports with you. And I got to ask you my favorite question after I welcome you to the show.
He got the brother handshake down.
How you doing?
Good. What's on your mind?
Well, the last time I was on here, my hair wasn't gray, so it's kind of like yours now.
Hey, at least we got it. Don't worry about it. I like this little bit here and
I
there.
had to imitate my favorite talk show host. So I had to grade my hair. I mean, look at it.
You can come back again anytime. No
Like a
problem.
promotion for Just for Men, so I get this hair dark again.
Yeah, there you go. Sign up.
It's warbling.
Nobody's getting younger except Smoking Jim. We don't know his age, and they can't guess it because he won't say it. So
I think he's related to Blade or something because he doesn't age.
yeah, he might be on the serum like Blade.
I think so. I mean, that's exactly.
But he's the nicest guy. Look at that smile.
The first time I saw him with Sips, he looks exactly the
Yeah.
same. He just changed hats. That's it. It's frightening.
And shirts. And shirts.
Didn't change shirts.
And then he'll talk sports like crazy, and he'll say, "Where did you grow up?"
Oh, there's only one place. The basketball capital of Pennsylvania, Midland.
Look, he even brought it out.
Yes,
so.
indeed.
Well, now that we got that intro out of the way, you got to bust Smoking Jim's chops a little bit with the different hat. That is a fancy hat. Look at that. Nice.
Nice.
What's on your mind?
I'll tell you what, I got to agree with what Jim said earlier about Pitt. Going more in depth with them and covering them, every day and
Sure, just with what's gone on.
Yeah, with my Pittsburgh Sports Nation and stuff like that. Credential.
I forgot to mention your Pittsburgh Sports Nation.
I mean, come on, the one and only Pittsburgh Sports Nation's in the house.
The only one, Pittsburgh Sports Nation. That's how I reached out to him and met him. I invited him on because of his site, Pittsburgh Sports Nation.
I like telling it how it is. I'm not afraid to give criticism, and I'm just as likely to give praise when
You
it's.
do both. I've noticed that. You're ambidextrous.
Got to be that way, I mean, you can't be all negative like some of these sports writers in town. They're always the sky is falling. I try to give you a mixture of both.
You tell the truth and then you put a little extra in there.
That's why like earlier in the season, speaking of Pitt, they had a tremendous rush offense, obviously with James Conner and
What a story that is.
Kadri Henderson. These guys they were amazing rush offense.
Right.
And it seemed that they weren't built to do more than that if they got behind. And I was kind of hard on Nathan Peterman at the beginning and
Sure.
the wide receivers. And
He's
stuff
really
like that.
shined this year.
I think it was a part of the receivers being very young. Dantes Ford got hurt early. And then these young guys just had to learn their craft on the fly.
Good point.
So since that Clemson game and even before, Peterman's just been absolutely amazing, and the kid deserves all the accolades he can get. I mean,
And he can run too.
He can run. He's run for like 200 some yards. I mean, 22 touchdowns and 6 interceptions and a tremendous offensive line that's given up 6 sacks all season long.
You got to give credit to that offensive line.
It's a team that if you can't enjoy watching a team like that play offense, both rushing and passing the ball, is that something?
There's something wrong with you.
Something wrong in your head.
Well, you know what? Just to interrupt you a little since you're on a roll. People are watching Pitt, but I don't see them with that sense of excitement about all this offensive performance going on. I mean, do you? I mean, there's like almost a disconnect there. You know, they appreciate it, they like it, but it's not filling the stands, and you don't have people just going crazy about this. How can you not?
Well, I'll say this first and foremost, as someone who's been a Pitt fan, thanks to my dad who's been taking me to games since I could walk.
Shout out to your dad. I met him. Nice guy. Big Pitt fan.
We're at every game, and we come from
the Draculiches are at the games with a spread of food and everything.
Oh, you got to go. We're with the party and family. You got to stop by sometime. I mean, come on.
I know.
It's the greatest tailgate.
Come by.
It's the greatest tailgate in the world.
Yeah, I think I stopped by for one or something.
You got to stop by for 2 or 3, if you know what I mean.
All right.
Well, I tell you what,
Go ahead.
I said this team and its fan base, it's very frustrating to me. Like I said, we've been.
I thought I might have struck a chord.
I could go off Jim Frazier's like right here on this subject because, the tickets are not much. It's centralized location. Why people are not there to me is just an excuse to me. If you can't find a way to get 50,000 into that stadium minimum, some of these Pitt fans who were sitting at the distance and talking all this smack, they need slapped by a couple of these good wrestlers over here.
Whoa, bring the wrestlers out.
My condolences. But,
don't get them riled up. Fleck was just relaxed there.
See, get on to look at these bowl games that are coming up here, like the choices that Pitt may have. There's some
what will they be?
There's a rumor that they may go to the Sun Bowl against Stanford, which it's a Power 5 team that you'd play against. But if these bowls had any sense to their head, there is a good rumor that the Russell Athletic Bowl is looking at both Pitt and West Virginia.
Wow.
Now tell me, 2 offensive teams that could score 50, 60 points a game, representing your bowl, and then, like you said, you had James Conner, who last year goes out with a knee injury. He goes into the medical unit and is checking on his knee and maybe expecting to get some news that, hey, your knee's healing up good, and they come out and tell him he has cancer.
And he went and started to fight it right away and beat it.
That's a kid that if you don't want someone like that as
on your poster,
as your bell cow, as your story, saying this kid had cancer, he comes back, actually says on a station that I want to thank God for giving me cancer, choosing me to have cancer, so I could be an inspiration to others and show people that there's hope. So if that's someone that you don't want at the head of your flyers and stuff like that, and
or your campaign for it, yeah.
Plus the kid comes back, gets 1,000 yards rushing, gets 300 yards in the air, receiving yards, and combines for 20 touchdowns. And that's a guy you don't want as someone saying, come watch this bowl, watch these 2 teams play, and watch this kid's story because he's an inspiration to everybody.
Well said, Mike. Pittsburgh Sports Nation. I'm glad we covered Pitt. Let's cover some more teams. West Virginia.
West Virginia, I tell you what, they started off real good. I believe they were 9-0 at the time, so they ran into some trouble with Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
So they look good, and I like to see the local teams do well, even though I can't stand them as a Pitt fan or Penn State, but it's good.
I understand that, but you're talking about it. Thank you.
It's good for the area to show that all 3 teams.
All right, mention Penn State.
The who?
Penn State.
Oh, man.
Penn State, come on. Look what they've done with a freshman quarterback.
I got to say, they have done very well. They've beaten the teams that they're supposed to beat. They did take care of Ohio State.
Too bad the Steelers can't do that.
Well, that team there, I think they went into a little bit of a hibernation. kind of got caught up in
Steelers.
some of their press clippings there. When you look, their style of play against subpar teams.
All right, let's go to Steelers right now.
I mean,
it's very disappointing there. I predicted 12-4. I'm down to 10-6 right now.
Well, the key to that prediction, and even though you might be one off, this is the week against the Giants.
I agree.
This is a game that if you win, there's no reason that you can't run the table against the rest of the season. I mean, you have Buffalo, you got Cleveland, you got the Bengals, and you got the Ravens. If you're going to be the team that you want to be, and the Steelers are...
They got to run that table, baby.
That's a team you go 11-5. You win the division, and then you go from there.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And, it's not easy when you have Cam Hayward out, but Javon Hargrave has stepped up. He looked real good last week. Tuitt is a monster. Give Notre Dame some props for churning out some monster
having a talent.
That guy. I mean, defensively, if they just steady themselves and are able to keep teams in the high teens and lower 20s, the offense should take care of itself because you got Ladarius Green back now. And he looks a little tentative out there, but he
had some rust on him, but it looks like some of that's coming off.
I think that ice got broken last week when he had a couple 30-yard catches. And I think once Ben starts to lock onto him like he does certain receivers
he will.
Eli Rogers and stuff like that, that's going to open the offense because you got to choose your poison. Do you want to cover Antonio Brown? Do you want to cover Le'Veon Bell? Do you want to cover Ladarius Green or Eli Rogers? Have fun.
Yeah.
Have fun covering all four of them.
Which they will.
Well, someone's not going to be covering somebody.
I know, I'm kidding.
It's up to our friend there.
I'm just firing you up. I agree.
I did go down to the game in Baltimore, personally.
Did you?
I went down. I was in a luxury box. I was surrounded by Ravens fans. So I had to...
How did you take that?
Well, I had to keep from throwing something against a wall since... and I've given him credit. I've given Todd Haley credit, but whatever was on their mind that day to come out and run 20 out of 22 times against a team that's good against the run, I was wondering if maybe they were drinking with us the night before.
Could be.
Or maybe they drew up the game plan on crayon or something like that because...
And then they lost the napkin they drew it on.
Oh, they burned that napkin. They didn't put no proof,
That could have happened.
It was terrible. I'm surrounded by Ravens fans and all laughing. And
I can't believe you're in it.
I'm like, let's see, which Rocky was? That was Rocky 4. I was like, we'll see you Christmas.
Yeah, there you go.
I'd walk out all mad and stuff like that.
It's not worth it. They got to improve their play, that's for sure.
They had the talent to do anything in this year. You look at the league, and even you look at a team like New England, they're starting to show some cracks in the foundation.
Their defense is a little suspect.
There's no team that you can watch week to week and say, well, this team's going to beat this team, no doubt. I mean, look at Seattle and Tampa. Who on earth is going to expect Seattle to go down to Tampa and get
5 points,
smacked around like
5 points they had?
You can't choose. It's basically going to come down to teams getting healthy, which it's good the Steelers have these 10 days off to kind of relax and get healthy, equilibrium going there, and maybe go over some game plans and figure this is what we need to do to be successful. Because we saw it in the playoffs last year. If Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown don't go down, and honestly, they had that game won if it wasn't Fitzgerald and Toussaint dropping that ball.
Exactly.
They're going to the AFC Championship game. Who knows what happens?
Super Bowl.
Yeah. So here we are again, and I would.
Well, it's nice to have a team that has the capabilities of doing it. Whether they did it early or late, I'd rather them do it late, which they're starting to do now.
You always want to peak later. I mean, look at the Penguins last year. Penguins were...
There we go. There's another, your sports guy. There's your Penguins, buddy. What a year.
They don't even need mentioned right now because they're just on a little roll here, and it's early. They
hadn't lost 2 games in a row.
Yeah, a couple guys are out hurt. You had Hornquist with a concussion, and
right.
Kunitz is out with a shoulder or something. Who knows? Hockey, they hide it.
Upper body, lower body. You don't know what part of the body it is.
I don't want to crack you with a stick in that spot. That hurts.
Yeah, it does.
It's early now, as long as they maintain their health, and once they get rolling around January and February, that's when you want to see them.
Let me ask you a tough question. 2 goaltenders.
It's a luxury that I think they can afford right now because
for now,
if someone gets hurt, you have someone else to lean on. If someone goes through a bad streak, you have the other guy to lean on. There's no team in hockey that has that luxury like they do, and honestly...
Well, here's the thing I noticed, just to throw a little water on it. It seems like the boys play a little tougher for Murray, and they let guys come in 3 on none a lot with Fleury. And then they go, how could he not stop that one? That was the 5th one like that.
I think they're worried about the young goaltender's psyche, and they know that Fleury won't be too upset if they leave him in those situations, whereas Murray might be.
We don't know what'll happen.
He's used to what happened in the playoffs. When you play regular season hockey as opposed to playoff hockey, you have guys diving in front of pucks, going down.
Sure, it's a whole
shots.
different thing.
They're not going to do that during the regular season. They want to get some points and have some fun out there.
But I noticed they're still playing pretty tough in front of him.
And that's a great job of the coaching staff, getting these guys to play good defense, even though, like I said, you want to play some offense.
It's suspect at
Well,
times.
you can, because once you get to April and May, it's, hey, we got to batten down the hatches and play defense down. That's how you're going to win. And
Right.
well, if it comes down to it, and someone gets hurt and they need like an offensive player, maybe another winger or a defenseman,
Yeah.
they have one of those guys they could trade and go get somebody.
Sure, they have a lot of talent there.
And they also have a guy, and there's actually a couple guys in the minors. I mean, Tristan Jarry, they said, is like considered the best young goaltender in all
I know, which is another asset.
So they're swimming in riches right now, and it is very difficult to go back-to-back. It's only happened with Detroit, I think.
Yeah.
And the Penguins before that, 91, 92. So
Exactly.
it's going to take a little bit of luck. So
Think we can do it.
I know they can do it. It's just health-wise. It comes down to
Who's left standing?
more. The thing that annoys me is the way the playoffs are set up. They don't have any reseeding, like they used to.
Sure.
So now you're always stuck playing your division teams, which to me I think is harder than the other division. I mean, I'm sorry.
Sure.
But the Rangers and Capitals are more threatening to me than Tampa or Boston and the other teams.
I agree.
So it would be nice if they would revamp that and reseed
I don't think
these
they
teams.
will, though.
Well, you looked at last year. I mean, like the two best teams were playing basically
Yeah.
in the semifinals in both conferences.
Right.
So why would you not want to? I mean, it's hockey. The people
They have
who
a
run-
different mindset, the people in charge.
Yeah, it's called. They drink a little bit too much Black Velvet up there and some Molson Triple X. There's something wrong with those Canadians.
Good point.
I mean, get with the program, some guys. I mean, come on.
No, it is, and the Canadians are still a little different about it.
Hey.
Hey.
I tell you.
Where else do you want to go? How much time we got left? Oh, we got about 8 minutes.
Wow, was that 8 minutes?
Yeah, we covered a lot of ground.
We did.
I got you going there. What's on your mind?
Let's go a little quick thing in here. What about the team that inhabits this building? I mean, they just gave
the
away.
Pirates. I don't know. The bubble burst when the starting pitching. Smoking Jim predicted the starting pitching sucked. Now he doesn't know baseball. He's an NFL scout, Steelers scout, and every show he was saying their starting pitching is terrible. Well, he was right. And then some of the guys they got, he kept saying they're terrible pitchers. He liked Garrett Cole. He wanted him to play, but he was hurt. So he sort of lost out on that. So we need pitching. That's my thing. We need a couple pitchers.
Last year was over before it even started. When
The pitching sucked.
Well, yeah, you had a chance to sign J.A. Happ for about $12 to $14 million, and they let him walk.
And he did well.
And he only became like an AL Cy Young finalist, Gee, we didn't need that or not. Let's go get Ryan Vogelsong and a couple other guys. Just keep throwing slop against the wall. Maybe they'll stick. And that's
This
what you
was
got.
Vogelsong's swan song because he started here and he's trying to end it here, and he provides leadership. Except you got to get people out.
Maybe you heard about my cousin's hot dog. My cousin's he's the executive chef over
I didn't know that.
Rivertown up there, and he's the one that came up with that insane hot dog with the Cracker Jack and
Yeah.
the jalapeno.
He come up with it.
That's his.
Can he come up with a pitcher?
He left that in California when he was out there with the Dodgers in Anaheim.
Nice.
And plus, the Pirates don't take coupons and stuff like that, so they go for.
That's not good. But we need starting pitching.
That would help. That would be something that.
We need a frontline pitcher or two.
It starts off with Ivan Nova. Ivan Nova. If you don't get this guy as a number 3, because you're going to count on Garrett Cole to be your number 1.
Yeah.
And you're going to count on. I'm assuming that Tyon's going to be number 2.
Let's hope they can stay healthy.
Glasnow maybe is your 3, and if Nova's your 4, and you could find someone on the market for a 5, there's your
Starting lineup.
There you go. And then you're going to build off of that. Because honestly, the lineup's not bad. It would be nice to have a little more power in there at first base.
Speaking of power, we just lost 18 home runs. Sean Insane Rodriguez, how do you give him $11.5 million, and if you have him play more, he doesn't do well? If he plays less, he plays great.
Well, I'd say that's $5 million a year, you got, right? For 2 years down in Atlanta?
Yeah, a little over.
Buy him a couple water coolers down there, but you know what?
He could take care of that.
Aside him, I mean, he was a guy that could play almost any position.
No, I don't take anything away from him. He had a great year.
Yeah.
Without him, who knows what our record would have been.
And that's a guy that they don't want to pay. So here we are again. They're going to have to look for someone else that could be that utility guy.
Right.
Maybe they're planning on that being Harrison again.
Could be.
Who knows what they're thinking right now? Because with the Cubs being who they are, with all the young talent that they have, and they're going to get older and better, which is frightening.
Yeah, 23, 24, 25, 26 years old.
Stand with their hands under their legs. I mean, it's going to be worse than last year. So,
And now they have that confidence because look what they did.
And you know the Cardinals are going to bounce back. These other teams are going to eventually start getting their their balance back, Milwaukee and Cincinnati. So it comes down to saying, hey, these fans came out for how many years to watch this team play?
Yeah.
Night in and night out, sellouts. Where's the result on our end as fans?
Exactly.
Why are we not getting the money out? Why can we not at least have a payroll?
What's your thoughts about nutting?
I think that...
Be honest.
I think we need to hire someone to break into that vault because, give me a break. From what I read in reports, he's one of the 10 richest owners in baseball, if not all sports. The guy has money, but he needs to be willing to put it out there and give back to...
Well, he's increased the payroll.
He's increased the payroll to maybe include a couple beer vendors and stuff like that. But if you want to be competitive with, like, say, Milwaukee, who's the same market as we are,
right?
Why can we not have the same
payroll
as them? Are you kidding? They have cheese. And
or is it just determined by the payroll? Because some are getting younger players in your system that you're bringing them up, so you're not paying them.
They had their opportunity with the deal that Kutch took, and then you had Marte and Polanco all took really nice deals.
Sure.
So they couldn't go out and get like a monster first baseman or go get that pitcher. You already had a catcher that was very good, and he had
Sure.
Cervelli got hurt a couple of times this year.
He's played well, and he just signed a $30 million contract.
Spend the money while you had the opportunity to do it. And the reason you should go out and get free agents is, well, they're unwilling to give away any prospects. That is, until someone wants to take an entire contract like Liriano, which they said, oh yeah, we'll.
And we're glad.
If you pay this contract, we'll give you 2 top 10 drafts.
Picks.
I mean, are you kidding?
Yeah.
2 top 10 prospects. All those years, the past 3 years, where they were in it and they wouldn't budge on any prospects.
Right now.
And that team offers to take a salary. They said, well, we want a couple prospects, and they give them 2 out of the top 10.
Yeah.
That's basically almost when I stopped watching. I mean, that to me is inexcusable. As a fan or as someone that covers this team,
well, especially as in depth as you cover it, we're all fans to a certain point. Some people like smoking Jim jump on and off the bandwagon. We need starting pitching.
And they have their opportunity. Like I said, get it done in the offseason. That way you don't have to trade these guys come trading deadline. And if you do need someone to keep adding on and maybe catch these Cubs or just get the wild card at the
With wisdom like this, we need you back again. Thanks for being on our show. Go Pitt.
Hell the Pitt.
And stay Joey strong. Thanks for watching our show. We appreciate it.
You're the man. Jim.
Great job, Mike.